This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Okay, then. Hello, everyone. We can start now. I think. Let people join if they want to join in between. But before this, I'll give a very brief introduction of myself. So I'm Arjun, and I have total experience of 10 plus years. And this has been, luckily, I've been fortunate enough to work with TOSCA for almost 9 years now, or all 10 years. Um, Parallelly worked with different automation tools like Selenium, with Python, okay, or Selenium with, okay, do we have four more people? Okay, Selenium with Java and all. Uh, and before we move forward, I think we do have 13 folks. That shouldn't be a large number. So I would want you to give me three details of yourself. Just very quick introduction of your name. You give me your name, your current experience or your domain which you're working on, and what is the expectation out of this whole session, all this whole training. And this, the reason being I'm asking you this is if I get the notion of what you are expecting out of it, I think I'll be able to answer you better. Okay. One by one, if you guys can quickly start and let me know your name.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, I'm Fayaz, and I'm working in the business development side. I want, as a non-technical, I wanted to go into the technical side.
Okay.
So friends suggested me to go for automation testing, and they said TOSCA is very easy for a non-technical guy to move to technical side.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I just wanted to learn TOSCA, and I wanted to move my career from non-technical to technical in the automation side. And I'm expecting to learn the TOSCA, and I'm looking for the job opportunities in this site.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, Faiz.
Okay.
Quickly,
Hey
anyone else
Arjun,
can go ahead? Yeah. Yeah, Kushan. Yeah.
hey Arjun, Kushan this side. So currently I'm working as a manual QA, and my total overall experience in manual QA is like 9+ years. However, within Salesforce, if I would say, it's almost around more than 2.5 years. So currently working in one of the organization, but I just wanted to enhance my skill with respect to the TOSCA automation, which is being used specifically for the Salesforce. So that's why I joined.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Thank you.
Next. Anyone want to nominate? Just want to go ahead.
Yeah, hi, this side Isha. I'm having an experience of 10 years, and
Mm-hmm.
that too in Salesforce, and I'm working on Tosca from more than 2 years. So
Mm-hmm.
for now, I wanted to enhance my knowledge from the technical prospect. Like there are many challenges or errors we face, or I wanted to explore myself into API Tosca automation. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to this session to have some knowledge related to that, or how better I can understand to it, so that I can go ahead for further sessions.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Isha. Next, let's do it quickly, guys. I think we'll have a lot of things to discuss.
Hi Arjun, this is
Yeah.
Abhishek.
Yes, Abhishek.
I have a total 1 year of experience with manual testing, and
Mm-hmm.
post that I had 6 months of gap, and after that I had 2 years of experience with as customer executive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had worked with basics of SQL and support things, and I post that I was preparing for a government exam. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was not able to crack it, so it's been 10 months that I have been having a gap right now, and I'm
Okay.
looking for to make a transition into TOSCA automation
Okay. Fine.
to a new, new
Before we move forward to anyone else, Abhishek, are you working anywhere right now, or you're just
no,
looking
I'm
for a job?
not
Cool.
working.
Cool. Fine. We'll take that way. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to volunteer?
I just wanted to add up,
Mm-hmm.
even I'm looking from the interview prospect right now,
Great.
as
Great.
I'm looking for a change, and within next 15 days, my last working day is approaching, so I'm looking for some more concept from the interview prospect.
Okay, great. That's what I want to know. I just want the reason why I asked you that I want to know your expectations. So just want to know different expectations, whether you're looking for to learn skills or want something um, conceptual in such a way that you crack the interviews. Okay, in just few days or few months. Just want to know your expectation on basis of that. Let's be frank, guys. If you totally want to be prepared good enough for interviews to crack interviews, that's totally right. That's what we are doing here, right? We want to feed ourselves. The first and foremost thing is to learn any tool, whatever it is, but to make sure that we get a job out of it, right? That should be your first goal. Am I fine with this concept? I think Dual agrees, or you're just looking for something to learn when just Tosca or any other tool. Okay, I'll take the silence as no. So our expectation, I would say, most of us, I think, will have a different. Okay, Rohit, you wanted to say something?
Hello, sir. Actually, I'm into testing profile, but
Okay.
most of the things which I'm working is manual only. Manual plus automation both is there,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not getting struggling in coding part actually.
Okay.
So my years of experience is almost close to 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
So is it beneficial for me to learn Tosca now?
Sure, sure. We'll come to that point. We'll have your answer, your question being answered while this going on. Anyone have similar kind of question or something different? So that's why I'll try to make sure answer every different kind of questions here.
Hi Arjun, as I could
Yeah,
see in the
Abhishek.
brochure, it's been said that API testing, SAP, any of the modules or a Salesforce, like more like it will be covered. Like
Mhm.
like what perspective is it? Like only the common flows will be covered or kind of things.
See, my way of teaching is I'll definitely go with first. I'll go with an API flow. I'll take any random API collection from online, which will get free to use. We'll try to replicate this whole API automation. So there's nothing different. So I've been working on Salesforce. I've been worked on Salesforce, SAP. I'm working for SAP Labs. So I'll come to that later. And I'm working on APIs. I mean, have done full API building for automation from scratch, whether it is in Selenium or in Tosca. So I'll try to make sure you get the enough depth knowledge so that you can, if you go to the job on the next day, you should be able to create the whole API automation at least from the scratch. Same with SAP or with Salesforce.
Yes, thanks, sir.
Okay. Any other questions in line or little different to this?
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah.
I We are actually a team working in Worksoft,
Hmm.
Worksoft automation, where Worksoft is also like a
Right.
kind of
It's the
competitor for Tosca.
exactly.
Just wanted to know how much difference there is between Worksoft and Tosca.
I would still say it's Pranay. If you, it's Pranay, right? Who was speaking, right? So
Yeah.
Pranay, uh, see, I have colleagues who are working for different clients like Porsche and all, but they're using Worksoft over there. Okay, there's not much difference. Okay, it's the client who would require a different kind of tool. Okay, it's on their availability or their pricing, or if they feel this tool will help them more. The reason being we choose Tosca, we go with Tosca right now in the industry is SAP's SAP's first choice right now is Tosca. If you would have heard something of TTA, it's called Tricentis Test Automation. They are giving their own um, kind of extension in their whole SAP enterprise. So who is going to buy SAP? They're going to get a Tosca automation, a small part of Tosca automation on their own. I mean, from the scratch. So I mean, the way they are advertising Tosca right now, SAP, right? It has a great future where with Worksoft, I have seen Worksoft. I have friends working with Worksoft. I've literally felt it would be very biased to say that I always felt Tosca a bit little easier, but you'll get to know once you keep on. If you go through a few sessions, or if you go through it, you'll have a lot of reusabilities. You have a lot of extensions or API. I'm not sure whether Worksoft allows you to automate APIs, but I think that should be because that's what automation tools should do. And you have a lot of extension going on with CI tools. Okay, so I will only prefer you to go with Tosca right now.
Okay.
The sole reason being is the kind of reach it has in the market and kind of, if you just go to LinkedIn and search for TOSCA jobs and workshop jobs, you would see a lot of openings coming in for the TOSCA right now.
Yeah,
That should
yeah,
be
you're absolutely right.
that should be the bread and butter. You should always look what is going to yield you a lot of money. I mean, good amount, or rather, your secure feature. At least for next 5 to 10 years down the line, what do you think? What you'll get out of it? We should get Tosca or Workshop. I mean, the kind of work Tosca is doing right now. I mean, the kind of collaboration it is doing with different technologies like Salesforce, right? They have built their own engines with Salesforce. SAP, as I told you, right? They have built their own extension out of it. I mean, the kind of move they are making, it seems Tosca is going to go way ahead.
Thank you for answering that.
No problem. Any other question? Priya? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Actually, I'm 12 plus years of experience working
Mm-hmm.
on it. So we are in Oracle application of customer care billing side and working in performance testing also manual. So I need to enhance, take my project to the next level, like enhance. And we are writing so many test cases manually. So I need to automate that one, test cases to reuse, to like regressions for other test cases. So it will support like Oracle applications or the task.
Oracle as an on-prem application, so it support desktop application. But to be frank, Priya, I mean, you going ahead with this question, I think it should be the management who should take call, because there's one drawback of Tosca. I would still go ahead with it. There's a licensing cost which comes with Tosca. That's very huge with against any other tool. Okay, if your organization go ahead with Tosca, I think that would be the best thing you can do with. I mean, automation would be pretty easy with the Tosca, but only thing is it's the licensing cost. If your organization is willing to pay for that license, I think it can automate anything. We have seen a lot of desktop applications, mobile applications, Oracle. If you're talking about on-prem application, like it's like a desktop application, you can still automate it. There is no issues with automating in that. But the only concern here would be if your organization is willing to go ahead with Tosca right now.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Any questions apart from the ones which we had till now? Just to get the more clarity, if you want to have different set of uh, questions, or you want a different reach. Yeah, Rohit.
Just want to know means how is the demand and of Tosca right now in the market as compared to
Tim,
Selenium and the other tools?
see, right now Selenium is, and Selenium will always be the best code automation tool. Okay, best automation
Yeah,
free source tool, right?
yeah,
Okay, you can compete with
yeah.
any other tool. The reason what Tosca set apart from these tools, right? If you say right now Selenium is being a little bit overshadowed, I'm not saying completely, but it is trying to be getting overshadowed by the tool called Playwright. Okay, it's JavaScript based or TypeScript based. Playwright is coming
Okay.
ahead and trying to over, so the tools would always come ahead and they will try to replace each other, one over other. The reason why Tosca stays ahead of these tools, right? It allows you to automate the complex applications like SAP. Okay, and it'll give you extension of APIs instead of writing a lot of codes like Rest Assured to automate API. It'll give you in hand inbuilt features to automate API and basically SAP. Okay,
Okay.
which the Selenium doesn't do it on its own. You need to have a lot of third party extension, and that's very difficult. And there have been a lot of tools in past, like HP ALM. They tried, but they were never able to automate it in a way which Tosca was able to do it. We will see in future class. I'll show you maybe in some days how easy it is to automate any SAP applications using Tosca, and the
So
extension is also.
we need
Go
to
ahead.
learn SAP as well.
No, you don't need to learn SAP. You just need to learn Tosca. See, whatever I'm going to teach you normal UI automation. Okay, just take any UI automation. Okay, the
Okay.
concept which remains for UI automation will remain same for any other application, whether it is SAP or Salesforce or any kind of application. The only thing is you just need to make sure how do you try to make element unique. Okay, how do you trying to find to make an element unique in such a way that you don't have to reuse your or go back and try to rescan your module or rearrange your modules again and again. The core concept will always remain same in any automation tool. You need to make sure that your scripts are stable enough, or your whatever you have written or code you have written or anything which you have scanned, is stable enough so that you don't have to come back and change again. The TOSCA feasibility is that there's uh, very minimal chances are there you go back and change a lot of bulk of things. Okay, unless the other applications, other Selenium and all. For this, you have to a lot of codings are done. In that way, you have to go back and see where exactly the errors are coming. But this is not the case with Tosca. When I
Okay.
talked about SAP, right? You don't need to learn SAP. You just need to know what exactly SAP is. I mean, just the basic structure of it. For automation, you don't need to have a functional knowledge of SAP. SAP is an ocean. No one can, and this I would
Okay.
say, even after 10 12 years experience, SAP learning SAP is it's very hard to get it. There are a lot of things. Only thing your focus
Mm.
should be how do I automate an SAP application, which is if you know Tosca, it will take only in half an hour or 1 day. I would say maximum 1 day to automate any SAP application. Your focus should be how do I
Okay.
automate any application with Tosca. You should know all the concept of
Mm.
Tosca, from module, test case, execution list, everything. You should just be clear with this picture, just Tosca tool. Every rest all will take care of itself.
Okay. And just one last question from my side.
Hmm.
As per the experience, suppose someone has got 7 years
Hmm.
or 8 years of experience in Tosca itself.
Hmm.
So, are they getting good packages above 20 or 20 LPA like that?
20 is bare minimum nowadays, I would still say. Someone
Okay.
with 76
Okay.
my 20 is very bare minimum. If someone is earning 20 with 76 20 with 76 experience in Tosca, I
Yeah.
would still say it's a underachievement.
Okay.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
still
Thank you.
underachievement.
That answers my
me
question.
me being 9 years experience in Tosca, so
Okay.
that's how would I rate it.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, should we go ahead or do we have any other questions?
Hi Arjun, do
Hmm.
we don't we want to get any like functional knowledge then regarding SAP MM or ST any of the modules, or it's just not required kind of thing
Oh.
when we apply for
Mhm.
the company?
For right now, no. I would still say if you have SAP knowledge beforehand, it's a advantageous to you. But if you know how to automate SAP application, that's what you need for task automation. See, I work for SAP Labs, okay, currently, but I don't have all the functional knowledge. I just whenever test cases comes to me, I just understand what exactly is happening. I just learn from the test cases. I don't know the in and out flow. When I automate it, I'll start learning them automatically. So there's no need of you to learn the SAP application end to end. You just need to know how Tosca automates these applications. Any kind of if I just come to you today, I'll give you this is my scenario. Just go through it and automate it. You just know what all logic should I apply. How do I make sure this is more compatible? How do I automate this in quick time? Okay, or how should it execute this whole test case in very minimal time without it being failing? Okay, that's your goal should be to learn functional right now.
Okay, that's yeah, thanks.
I think we have questions from Dev. Dev, yeah, let's go with Dev first.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
I have recently completed my bachelor's degree,
Mm-hmm.
and I am a complete fresher.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give TOSCA examination,
Mm-hmm.
certification examination, like one or
Mm-hmm.
two. So, is
Yeah.
it for me or not? I just want to clear that.
So you're just looking for certification, just certifications,
Yes, and for a job as well. I want
job
to
as well.
pursue career in
Okay.
testing
Okay.
also.
Okay. Fine. Got it. Got it. See, I can definitely assure you with this while we complete this course. Okay. Not sure whether it'll take 30 days or 35 days. I'll make sure on 35th day you should be able to come at least 4 certifications of basic certifications of AS1, AS2, TDS1, TDS2. Okay. These 4 certifications, I would make sure that everyone, each one of you who joins this, I'll make sure that these 4 at least would be completed. These 4 courses. Okay. Coming to the job part, and similar to that line, it is just not one hand play, right? I'm not just going to teach you. There are a lot of things which you have to done by yourself. I'll give you all uh, Tosca being a premier tool, right? It's a license tool. I'll give you exchange. I'll give you few 20 or 40 days of trial licensing. You can automate it. You just automate, go with any. I'll give you a few complex applications, automate those. You can have those in your resume. Just mention that you have done automation on UI, you have done automation on API, you have integrated API plus database or API plus SAP. It will definitely going to build you. Your resume will definitely be on top of the list if they're looking for a task automation engineer. So definitely, whether it is fresher or 10 years of experience, it can still be helpful.
Is this screen is shared
Not
or?
yet, not yet, not yet. I'm just still taking questions. Kumar, I think we have gone with almost half the time. Kumar,
Hi Arjun.
yes.
Like, well, like if we can showcase for 2 years of experience, we cannot like showcase all API, web, and SAP, all the things, right? Like only we can showcase one or the other.
Uh, you just don't stick with 2 years then, right? How much experience you have totally?
I have total 3 years of
Total 3 years
experience.
experience. Okay, just go with 2 years experience. 2 years web plus API was more than enough. See, I will still tell you. I've been taking interviews for task automation for last 5 to 6 years. Okay, I don't ask
Okay.
questions basically. See, when I was 3 years of experience with Tosca, I mean that market of Tosca is very less. Since then, I'm taking interviews for people who have more experience than me in terms of manual testing. Okay,
Okay.
I'm not looking. I'm not going to look for if a person knows how to automate SAP, how to automate Salesforce, whether he has experience in automating all these kind of things. I just want to see what all logic he applies. I'll ask scenario-based questions. I'll give him some different set of scenario wherein how does he perform? What his logical thinking would be with Tosca. Okay, there are a lot of options with Tosca. I want to see your capability to automate this application based on your understanding with your experience. What will you automate? Whether you have attended UI or API, with those experience at least you should be able to automate the other set of applications as well. It
Okay.
doesn't
Okay.
matter whether you know just one or two application. It's still set you apart if you understand everything whatever you have done till now. There are three basic sets. We'll come back to that. Nafisa, any questions from here? And then we'll quickly move forward.
Thanks.
Yes, yes, Arjun. Am I audible?
Yes.
I just wanted to ask, are you going to cover test data service or DX in this training? If
T-
yes, as long as I know on free license, we can't do practice for TDS. Then how we are going to do that?
TDS, we will definitely going to create few repositories. There's certain number of repositories we can create. Dex, it is still not sure. Okay, TDS you can
Okay.
utilize using the free licensing server. You can still have options of free licensing server. You can, but Dex maybe you won't be able to. You can still connect to your local machine. Your local machine would be working as an agent as well as a server. In that case, right? In that case, there are different set of the possibilities of automate or going with Dex. See, don't complicate or just don't think on the Dex like Dex is a hot topic. Everyone is going with Dex. Let's learn Dex.
Mhm.
No one
Okay.
is building Dex from scratch now. Everyone has the Dex setup already prepared with them. Okay, it's just few configurations, few XML files or test events which you have to work basically on. I'll definitely show you if my work permits. I'll definitely show you my current project wherein how we are implementing Dex. If that is needed for you, I can definitely showcase you that. But I will definitely make sure I'll show you how to use TC shells to run your applications overnight or schedule them better. Okay, whatever is permissible with this particular set of licensing, free licensing, what we have, I'll try to cover every one of it. TDS for sure. TDS we will definitely cover.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, I guess we are done with all questions. Fine, we'll move forward now and fine. I think we had enough questions. Okay, fine. I'll go ahead and talk about myself first. Maybe people who joined a little late. So my basic about me is I have 10 years of experience, total 9 years in TOSCA automation. So I've done automation on UI applications. I've done with database, API, SAP, Salesforce, and desktop applications, and few here and there, a few POCs and mobile automation as well. Okay. Uh, the basic thing I was Tosca architect. I mean, I got Tosca architect when the first batch of Tosca architects were uh, the whole certification came into the plan. back in 2019 when the first time when they came up with this TOSCA architect certification. That's when I was the first 5 people among them where I got certified as TOSCA architect. Okay, so I've been working with few premier clients. I've been working with few financial institutions. Can't name them all, but I'll give you a few just of like Pfizer, ANZ, few of them. I've been working with few healthcare institutions like I've worked with Philip Healthcare. Currently, I'm working with SAP Labs. Okay, so it basically gives you the idea how I have experience with wide range of applications which I worked on. When healthcare SAP, sorry, Philips Healthcare, which I worked on, I was working with Salesforce there. APIs with all the banking applications, database also with application, and currently with SAP Labs. Okay, that's pretty much about me, and I'll definitely make sure that with this 30 odd days which we're going to spend together, I'll make sure uh, if we go together, I'll try to make sure that you create whole set of framework. If I give you test cases of a whole application, you create the whole set of uh, test suite of it basically. If someone comes here, you should be able to use your data from TCD or TDS, create your own modules, create your reusables execution list, create your reportings. Okay, uh, reporting as in uh, customizable reports. Okay, the course syllabus. Let's go with course syllabus first. Maybe it'll give you a better understanding of what we're going to do. We'll learn the standard modules, what TOSCA basically is. So. I think a lot of people are here with more than 2+ or 3+ experience. There are few folks also who don't have any experience with automation. Let's taking consideration about them. We'll go with very basic. Okay, we'll just learn what is standard modules of Tosca. Basically, it'll give you a standardized library of itself. Okay, you can use them and can automate a lot of other applications. Okay, instead of creating everything from scratch. Okay, we'll use technical modules to create your own modules, technical scans basically. Will understand Excel, PDF, XML, JSON automation. You can use how to automate these applications. API modules. Again, there are different ways to automate API. We'll try to get to the best possible ways. Model attribute properties. How do you create your own model attribute? How do you customize your model attributes so that you can use in multiple ways? Okay. Identification mechanisms, the priorities, which one should be used first, which one should be used second, and when to use which one, and the best practices. If you see this, best practices would be there for all the components. Okay, and this is most important. If you're let's assuming you guys are going in for interviews, right? Your focus is to get into. I think most of us would be looking to get interviews somehow, or crack this interviews. Your first and foremost thing is whenever you automate this set of applications, you should make sure you're following this whole set of modules based on the best practices. Okay, we'll follow the best practice and create these modules. Okay, everywhere where the best practices should be, because assuming you're still able to crack the interviews, you go on to join the organization on the first day. If you don't follow this basic practice, if you creating a model with some random names, okay, creating for was one application you're creating 5-10 modules, doesn't make sense. People will able to caught you that you're a novice. Okay, so we'll follow the best practices. Coming to test cases, test step values, I think you still see this. Static dynamic buffers, test case design, TCD, basically what we say, libraries, reusable blocks. We'll talk about these one by one. Just go through it. If a person who has already had experience with the Tosca, just go through these components. I think you'll get to know what are we going to learn it. But for newer folks who has never work on it, don't worry about it. We'll go one by one. We'll take each day at least to understand this basic concepts. Okay. And then execution list, entries, logs, configurations, test mandates. Okay, recovery scenarios. If in case who has experience on Tosca, if you think there's something which is missing and you want to learn, just keep me asking. I will try to add it in my notes, and then we'll add it in the course as well. Okay. uh, Test case designs. Okay, classes, attribute, instance. How do you create your own test case design in such a way that with just one set of template you should be able to create multiple scenarios? Okay, we'll give a very basic example. Assuming you have a login screen. Okay, to log in into particular application, assuming it's a Facebook app, Facebook. Okay, you're logging to Facebook, you have username, password, and then login button. Okay, you can have a multiple scenarios over here, right? You can write use valid username and valid password, and then you click on login. You should log in. then you can have valid username, invalid password. You shouldn't be able to log in. Similarly, right? They can be 4 to 5 different combinations, right? So instead of writing 4 to 5 test cases for this, you just need to write one test case, and using this particular generate instance method, you should be able to create 5 different set of test cases based out of it. Okay, that's how we're trying to optimize it using the TCD expressions. I think this is very important part. This is what interviews looks for. They look for your knowledge on this. How do you write date and time based on there are different functions over there. If you see over a math, calci function, regular expressions, very important, most important part, regular expression. We'll go with it. Different operators, how to take screenshots, different ways of taking screenshots. How do you evaluate? They might in interviews they might give you different evaluation scenarios. How do you evaluate it? How do you buffer it? Buffer is basically storing your value into a variable. Okay, and based on the real time experiences with my experience, I'll try to give you complex scenarios, and we'll see how best we can solve it. Okay, I'll give you different ways to solve these scenarios, the best possible, and main the worst solution to the best solution. Okay, you should be able to answer all different kind of solutions to it. You should have a multi so that an interviewer should get to know that yes, this person has a wide range of experience. That's why he can think of 3 different scenarios to automate this particular operation. Okay, and I will definitely go with SAP scenarios, API reporting. That's very important part. API execution reporting, as I think I'm not sure whether people know this. You can take screenshot of each and every application, but except for APIs and database, there's something which is running from the back end, right? Background. So how do a tester go and validate whether your API is working fine, whether the logs are fine? So we'll see how the reporting works for the APIs. Okay. How do you customize your own reporting rather than which is already present in the TOSCA? We'll just see how to create your own reports. Okay, and we'll do definitely Salesforce, Tosca server, as we say. I think someone was asking. We'll go with TDS. We'll see how possible we can integrate with any one of the tool if we can. Anything freebie. And the last few sessions, we'll definitely go with this. Or maybe I have one whole set of files wherein I can provide you how do you integrate your system with Jenkins or Bamboo tools. Okay. Any build tool would particularly work similar way. Just you need to know what all commands to be added. Okay, fine. Apart from this, yes, anyone want to go ahead?
Are we implementing any project in this?
We will definitely. We will use
Okay.
this particular website called Demo Workshop by the scientists. We will try to automate that. Or maybe if you guys have any better, I think the Demo Workshop which Time Centers has provided has wide range of complexities. We'll try to work on that. Okay. And
Okay.
coming back to, there are few things which I would want everyone to know about this. Uh, this is my way of teaching. In every classes, um, I'm not sure whether you guys would be able to attend each and every class. Definitely there's a video option, sorry, the recording session, recording operations options for you, but I would rather ask you to join my classes every day. There are certain concepts, okay, there are certain concepts or certain topics which might be necessary for interviews. I would definitely ask you, assuming there's something called cardinality in a module. Okay, well, just for the experience guide, well, if you see something, there's something called standard module. We'll see slowly this. There's something called cardinality, right? Which you might, which goes out of your head. This is called cardinality. The interviewer might ask you, what is cardinality? I would definitely every day ask you to this kind of question. What is this cardinality? Write down on your notebook. Just have your own notes somewhere. Write this question, what is cardinality? Someone has asked, like I have asked you to write about or think about what is cardinality. Google it, go with the TOSCA manuals. You will see what cardinality is. Implement in your project. Just come back, just change the values here. Okay, 0 to y. What if I use n over here, or if I use 10 over here? What will happen? Just understand different scenarios based on this. Okay, and maybe next day we'll see what exactly this happens. So this is very specific question, interview questions which I used to ask, and a lot of people have asked me as well. What I've come across, cardinality is very important. So similarly, we'll day to day we'll come across different set of interview questions, which comes up like cardinality, what all parameters has to be used. Okay, just to make sure, if you join, I'll definitely give you these kind of questions. So just write it down, search yourself, and next day we'll discuss on this. and we'll see the best possible answers for that. Okay, or best possible way to answer to your interviews. Okay, and what else? This is it. Maybe if you can affect, maybe I'll just show you one small example of an automating an application. Okay, if someone who has never worked on Tosca, so I'll create one folder called training folder. Okay, so what you do is basically right click on this folder. This is called module folder. Okay, Tosca basically is called as model based testing. Okay, what is model based testing? It's particularly a model basically which you want to test under this system under test. Okay, this whole application, assuming I'll use desktop, uh, I'll use demo workshop as we were talking about, right? This is demo workshop. So we'll use this. This is called a system under test. Okay, this is a system which we are testing. Okay, it's kind of e-commerce website which we are testing. Okay, it's called a system under test or SUT. Okay, so we'll try to test the system under test. So if you might see, there are a lot of things over here. You might see there's a field over here, text field. There's a search button. There are different sections over here: book, computers, electronics, apparels. There are different navigation drop downs, links. These are links. Okay, so this whole set of application is called system under test, and the small chunks out of it, like register, is one module. Maybe this is one module, this is one module. Okay, if you click on this, books is one module. If you go inside book, you will see a lot of different modules over there. Okay, so this is how do we create it? We just create different set of modules. So this is assuming I click on register. Okay, clicking on register or clicking on login, clicking on shopping cart or website, this whole things become my one module. Okay, I'll just keep everything intact. Okay, just give me 1 second. I think, are you guys able to hear me? I think I've got something. Someone said not able to hear.
I'm
Able
able
to
to
hear.
hear
Okay,
you.
fine. Fine. We'll still go ahead. So these are particular models. Basically, this search field or search button is one module. Okay, I'll maybe basically show you. So assuming I create this folder under module section. Okay, just don't think about it. What is this module section? Test case requirement. We'll come back to it one by one. I'm just giving you a very gist of it, how this training would be. I'll give you one specific. We'll just do one session. Just give one session. Okay, maybe my video, is it my video running? I still have questions. Can you guys see my screen? Is it moving?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Currently we are on module section.
Okay, fine. I think Sai Alam, I think you're having some issues with your system then. Okay, fine. We'll still go ahead. So this training, right? This is what we have created. I'll just go right click on scan an application. As I said, we will go back and see each one of this phase, what exactly this. It's just a demo session. We'll just see how exactly, it's just my way of teaching. Let's see how you like it or not. Okay. So you see there are a lot of applications which are already open in my system. We'll go with this desktop web register. Okay, now it will show me this whole system under test. I need something. Assuming I want to click on this search store, I want to look for computers. Okay, and I click on search. So this is my one scenario. So what you're doing is you're basically logging into this particular website, going into the main search or the global search field. You click on you search computers and click on search. That's your scenario. That's one test case. Okay, so right now I just need is two fields over here. I'll use select on screen. There are different options over here. I will use select on screens, and then this I'll use if you see over here, search button. Okay, there are different ways to automate this. Maybe if you see over here something called Q search and this OK search button. Okay, if I click on highlight section over here, right? Okay, maybe we have a different resolution. That's why. Okay, yes, there are certain set of resolution which we need to follow. We'll come back to it. Let me rescan it. Sorry for that. We scan the application. TOSCA. Select on screen. If you see, if I select on screen, it will show me something called Q over here. Okay, this is one field. If you see, once I select on this field, It's give me this text field. We'll see about it. What is this? Then we click on search button. Okay, this is what we need just for two different model. These are called attributes. Okay, these are called model attributes. We'll see how it looks like. If you see, if I click on this, okay, how do you get to know whether this particular thing which we have scanned? Obviously you have clicked on it, then only it came over here, but still, assuming there are a lot of other things which you have clicked on it, and if you want to see, if you still want to see, go back and see if I selected the right element or not. There's something called highlight section over here. Okay, you select this particular attribute, click on highlight section, and you see this being red marked, right? It basically says this is highlighted, this is what I have selected. Now you click on search, it will still highlight this search as well. Okay, your main focus, the whole core concept of Tosca is you should be able to make these elements as unique. If you see something over here, the selected item is unique. Same with here. Selected item is unique. You should make sure this is unique. Now, if I come back over here, how do you make sure these elements are unique? If you see the properties, maybe in next lecture or somewhere, we'll definitely see what are these properties. There are different set of properties by Tosca. One is representation, steering, representation, technical. We'll understand what are the different meaning of it. If you would have seen, if someone knows selenium and all, you would have been very familiar with the XPath terms, right? You can write your own XPath if you know how to write XPath. So we'll come to that as well. But right now, Tosca gives you specifically, by default, it will give you, it will select the best parameters to make this element unique. The whole funda of this whole automation is whether it is any, either it is Tosca, Selenium, Playwright, any other automation. You just need to make sure your elements are unique. Right now, when I say elements, basically your model attributes, these attributes. Okay, it's written Q over here. If you click on highlight section, you'll go back and background, you can see, right, it's being selected over here, the red mark. My focus would be when I use it, I'll give a better name. It's just Q. I won't understand what is Q here. Okay? I'll write global search. So that any person who come back and see, I should able to understand that this is global search, or maybe I'll write text field. Okay, and then there's something called search. What is search? Search is a button over here. Done. Once you do this, now you see there are different technical parameters, something called ID, something called tag, which is making your element unique. I'm using ID right now and tag. There's no need of tag. It's basically input. Input basically some field. It has some property um, which is allowing you to input in it. So basically text fields or buttons. These all text field, button, link. These all you have something called tag as input. Even if you remove this, it doesn't matter. I will have the element still unique, because this ID is a specific single ID which will always remain unique. Okay, so I'll just have my ID selected, and there's something called search button. Okay, again you can see as it is a button, it has the tag as input and then value of field as search. Okay, you can remove this tag, you can have this value selected. Assuming if you click on just tag, okay, you might see there's something called no, it's gray color, right? It says selected item is not unique, which means, which what basically it means is there are a lot of tags in this page. Okay, this in this whole page there are a lot of tags which have the property of input. Okay, if you see there are these many fields over there, right? These are also text fields. These also will definitely have a tag of input, right? All the text fields, as I told you, all the tag fields, all the text fields, all the radio buttons, all the buttons, different kind of buttons, they have the similar property of tag as input. So right, that's why it doesn't make it unique. You need to have something else other than this tag to make it unique. So what we'll go with, we can go with anything as value as search or type as submit. You just need to try one by one. If you just select type, it doesn't make you. If I use type and tag combination, does it give me unique? No. So we'll go with value, which value is search. The best thing, but the best easiest way I would say is you always should always go with ID if it is there. As the values ID is blank, go with default name. The most simple way. Just use default name. It will definitely give you the item as unique. Most easiest way. Okay. Even if default name, there are instances where default name would not be unique. In that case, you can go ahead with different combinations. There's no need of just having one property selected, but always make sure you just select those kind of property which will make it mostly unique. Okay, you can have default name and your value search as a combination or type as a combination, but if your default name is giving you as a unique element, let's go with just stick with default name. That's more than enough. After doing this, we'll click on search, sorry, save, and you'll see the message over here, model saved successfully. and I'll close this. I'll expand this.
I have one query over here.
Mm-hmm,
Sorry to
mm-hmm,
interrupt you. As for the latest version, we got a new feature that is
mm-hmm.
self-healing of modules. So,
Right.
what are the variation in the properties that we select under when we are selecting an element and selecting the properties, as you just mentioned? And what is the variation between the properties selected on self-healing and over here?
There's
How it
this
works as a healing for us?
how the self healing work basically. Okay, assuming this particular application, assuming you have ID or text field. Okay, as a text field as an input, as we talked about, tag as an input, right? Assuming in for next one and all, you might say the tab property has been changed to some other field. Maybe this particular field is being this particular attribute is being used in a lot of other applications, lot of different modules. Okay, which area scanned. In that case, I'm not sure whether I have this option of here right now. The simple thing is you just need to click on this. Once you do this, everywhere, assuming this property of tag is being changed to instead of input, assuming link. Okay, once you click on self healing, it might want if this particular element, if what you're selecting, if you self heal this, all the elements which are related to this will be self healed automatically. Understood my point?
Uh, Yeah, that is like what
Mm-hmm.
definition say, but
Mm-hmm.
actually in the back end, because it say like AI automatically, or I should say TOSCA, automatically uniquely identify few properties to self heal it, and they
Okay.
give some weightage to it. Okay,
Wait.
so my is how on what basis they identify, because what I heard, they identify this ID label and all these only as a properties, and we
See,
we provide the weight.
let's go ahead. Let me rescan. I think I'll give you the better answer to this. So as you read, there are different set of parameters for each modules. We saw it: technical parameter, or representational parameter, or steering parameters. The most highest weightage is always given to technical parameters. If you see over here, technical parameter. Okay, sorry. I'll go with the element which is selected. This is the selected element. Okay, these are my technical parameters. If in case as I chose right default name over earlier, right, q as a default name, it's a representation parameter. Okay, which might not, which Tosca doesn't think that it's one of the best choice for it. They will always go with something called technical parameter. If in case you have chosen representation parameter, default name or default name as q over here, right? If in case this value has been changed, because q doesn't look like a right valid name, right? If this values get changed, if this module become non-unique, in that case the first priority it will think is the representation is not my first choice. It will deselect this. It will always go with technical. What's the best technical? There's a property, there's a priority given to it: ID, then class name. Okay, and if you have inner text, it'll go with inner text. You should have the better ID. Any idea with regex operations, right? If something, you might see there are different set of IDs wherein it will something end like this. Okay, with some numbers at the end. Is these numbers would keep on changing, which doesn't make this unique. Okay, in that case it will not select this ID, it will go ahead with the class name in that case. Okay, it will make this as the my next self-healing element. So that's how the properties selection would be go ahead. Your first priority should be technical IDs based on these values, and then again, if you have ID, basically the ID with certain set of text which will always be unique, it will select this. If it has this particular elements, I mean, where's the number? If it has this 1 2 3 4, some random numbers over there, it will assume that it's going to change sometime soon. So let's select the class name in that case. Okay,
One more thing, like the weightage is defaultly provided by Tosca, or
it is private Oscar. You don't have to provide this. It will the self fill, basically it means it will automatically do it. You don't have to provide the technical attributes by yourself.
just we have to enable the self healing. That's
Just
all we need.
exactly. Once I come over here, any other question on the same front? Fine. I'll just
So just one small feedback.
yes.
Just go a little bit slow, sir. Little bit slow.
Okay. Okay. Fine. It's just a demonstration. We'll go very slow. Just the
Sure,
because
sure,
we
sure.
are almost went with the time ahead on board with the time. Okay. What I did just now is this is the model which we have created. Okay, these are the properties of it. Okay, there's something called title. Title is basically the title of this page. This is the title. Okay, you might see scenarios wherein someone will ask you, assume you have three titles with you, a page with four titles. I just some interview will definitely go mad and say, I just want to click on the second tab. I just want to select on the second tab, or I want to go on the third tab, on the fourth tab. How do I handle this? Okay, there are certain ways to handle this. There's something called constraint index as a property. We'll see that there's something called different set of parameters which you can add over here. With these technical parameters, you can add something called constraint index. Okay, I just we just keyboard something called constraint index. I'll give some random number. So if you give 2 over here, okay, what it'll do is, assume you have 2 tabs over here, it will select always the second tab. Even if you have 3 tabs, it will select the second tab. Okay, based on this constraint index. Well, this is not the right parameter. It should be something else. But right now, just for your simplification, for a scenario, as I told you, this can be one interview question. Which basically they always ask if you have multiple windows with the uh, same titles. These are called titles basically. If you come here, see, these are titles: demo, workshop, registration. These
Okay.
are titles.
Over here, like as you mentioned, so how we
Mhm.
will identify dynamically at the runtime what
Like,
index should it be?
very good question. Okay, maybe this might go ahead, go little overboard with the other folks who have no experience, but I'll tell you in that case is assuming there's something called tbox set buffer which you are aware of, right? Set
Yeah.
buffer, basically you save a variable name. Assuming um, before, assume you have 3 or 2, let's say you have 3 titles, 3 pages, right? So assume you want to click on second and you perform some operation on it, and then you go back to third. Okay, just before you reach to second application, just once you complete uh, all the work which you want to do on this application, this particular set of page, and then next, before starting this second page, you need to add a tbox set buffer with just some title or some buffer name. Assume ABC or title name equal to 2. Okay, and as I told you, right, you will add a constraint index over here. It should be a configuration parameter. Rather, I'll use a constraint index over here. Okay, as I told you, right, you will use a buffer name. You will buffer. It's a variable which will store the value. So assuming before you reach to this step, you will add one step called tbox set buffer, wherein you add the value as title equal to 2. Okay, so my title is a variable which value will be saved as 2. Now what will come back, what you'll do over here is I'll write buffer of title. Okay, so what I'll do here is on the runtime, whatever value of this title is, this syntax is basically a buffer of a title. So whatever value of title has in the buffer, it will run on that index. If the value is 1, it will always perform actions on the first page. As I told you, right, before going to the next page, if you add a tbox set buffer and set the value as 2, it will perform the actions on 2. And after completing this particular set of operations on this page, you add tbox set buffer of title equal to 3. Okay, so the value of title will be set as 3. Your constraint index value will be 3, and it will automatically be 3. So it's just add this particular index, and on the runtime, whatever values you keep on changing over here in the test case, the same value would be, or the same operation would be handled, whether it is 4, 5, 6, or 10, 20 apps. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll just remove this for now. Okay, as I move this, did I move this? Okay, what I did is I just dragged this module to a test case. Okay, here. Once I drop it over here, it's already been dropped. You might see there's something called new test case being created. We'll give a very meaningful name to it. Maybe I'll say training demo. Okay. Okay. Wrong. Okay. If you see over here, this is what we had already scanned, right? Global search and search button. Now what I want to do, I want to maybe search computers, what we were looking for. If you see over here on the action mode, there's nothing over, it's totally blank. Okay. Once I click on enter, the action would be reflected as input. What there are different sort of action modes: input, verify, buffer. They have different meanings to it. Right now, let's stick with input. Input basically means you are entering something. It very logical meaning. Input means you are entering something. It in the search button. In the search, there's a buttons, right? It has different sort of operations. You can see the drop down which says click. I'll use input. Okay, and I just run this part for now. If my application is already open, I have to. Okay.
Hi, Arjun.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, no problem.
Session which feels like more advanced.
Okay,
So
no,
it's like they say,
fine, fine. I
unable
understand.
to go through what's going on like that.
This is to be frank, as I told you, right? For someone who has no experience or a fresher, I think some guy was, I think maybe you or someone was a fresher over here. For him, it is
Yeah,
very high level. It is very overboarded for him. Definitely for someone
yeah.
like you, I will make sure we go from the scratch. It's not that we grow from directly, because there are folks who have good knowledge. Uh, but yeah, we'll consider those folks as well who don't have any experience on this. But we'll make sure. I mean, it would be a refresh for them as well. They'll understand what exactly different properties we are setting, the meaning of each and everything over here, what we're doing. But don't worry about, this is just a demo. I'm just going to teach. I'm showing you just the way I teach it. But we'll go very slow. This is very high level, very above board. Okay. Maybe there
Actually,
are
I
few
have
folks.
already,
Hmm.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
already attended the demo sessions in your not in your training,
Hmm.
previous session also. Because of the
Okay.
time change, I was opted here
Okay. Okay.
in this
Oh.
timing. So
Okay. Okay.
from there to here, I feel like that looks very basic. Now it's looking very advanced, and
Maybe we have
even I
few
know
folks.
this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Go
even
ahead. Go ahead.
last 10 days, I know the TOSCA tool, but I unable to get
Hmm.
what you are teaching.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it's going too complex for you, right? Okay. Fine. Fine.
Yeah,
We'll go very slower then. We'll go very slow
yeah.
then.
Even I was into this TOSCA tool for the last 10 days. Like I'm
Okay.
going, I know what they're teaching, that module test cases and all. Even I
Hmm.
unable to understand what's going on now.
Right now. Maybe the reason being is there are questions from the senior folks who have experience on this. Maybe based on their questions, it might, and because I have to teach them based on their understanding, right? So it might be
Okay,
there's a little mismatch between the understanding between the senior folk and you. So it happens, but we'll
okay.
make sure this whole thing will be done in such a way that it's from the scratch. Okay, there nothing will be done in such a way that it will be partial to you or to someone else. Okay, it will be similar for all of them.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay, any questions? Okay, but fine. Maybe I was showing something before we ended. I think we're almost there. So we just scanned something and we were running it. Okay, I'll just run this and I'll give you one specific, very simple thing which I wanted to show you guys. Uh, if we can achieve this right here, maybe I'll show you one topic or make you understand one small concept. Maybe we are handling. Maybe the license is not proper. Okay, search. Click on search. Okay, so what we did just now is we entered some value over here in computers and clicked on search. Okay, there are different set of ways to do it. Okay, if you see over here, there's something called click over here. Okay, this click basically what it does is, as it says, I am just going back here. Where is my application? Going back and clicking on it here. Okay, assuming what will happen, assume your mouse, so click, what it does is assuming your cursor is over somewhere here, it will come back here and click on it like this. Okay, assuming your mouse is somewhere over here. Okay, if it comes back from here to here, from here to here, you see it got overshadowed by something called a notification, this notification. Okay, now this creates a problem, because if your mouse is coming from top to bottom, in that case your search button is overshadowed. Even if you click on it, it doesn't work. It will not work. It will not click on it. Okay, so how do you handle these kind of situations? Okay, that's how you maybe question the next the interviewer would ask you. If your mouse is coming from top to down and there's notification bar and it overshadows some other button which you want to operate on, then how do you operate? Then how do you work on it? Very simple answer. There's something called X. This X, basically what this X does is, I'll tell you. So if you, let's say if it performs the same operation, so X is nothing but in other application, in other automation framework, we use something called JavaScript enables, right? Wherein basically you're throwing a JavaScript. This whole website is basically handled by the JavaScript. What it does is, instead of going from mouse cursor, okay, from here to here. So if you see, my mouse didn't move anywhere. I moved my mouse anyways. I didn't move my mouse anywhere. It just clicked on computers. It just searched the computers, and from the back end, whenever you say X basically is you're throwing a enter keyword. It's a keyboard enter which you're entering or throwing from the keyboard from the back end. So what it does is, now it will first enter the computers as a text, and then from the background it will enter. X means enter. So it will, from the behind, it will enter the search. Instead of your mouse, your cursor might be here or somewhere else. It will kept on the same static position, but from the back end it will click on search. Okay. So we'll understand this little small tricks. What is the use of X, what is the use of click? Okay, these are the small tricks which you should understand the difference between them. Okay. But very basic. I think we are over time as well. I think we are losing this the times and thing. If we have folks, okay, we have very few folks over here. Just to conclude this, okay, just want to say I like to keep my whole crowd little less. I want to keep crowd with like 10 to 12 or 15 people only. I don't want to keep more than 20 people because it doesn't follow my style of teaching. The reason being is because there are few folks who might not have any knowledge on Tosca. There might be few folks. Uh, no, I'm not reading 30 class topic. See, what I'm saying is, it is not even first class. It is just the demo class. It's not first class. Just the demo. The reason being I want lesser people is I want to give more time to each one of you. There would be a lot of topics which you would like to cover, uh, which more projects which I'll give you. Okay, we will solve on the front, or maybe you will solve it. You'll have different lot of questions. Lesser the people, uh, I think more time I would be able to give it. Okay, so we'll go. This is not even class. I would not even understand, not take it as the first class as well. Okay, just assume this as just the demo of it. Okay, everything would be starting from the like the next class onwards, from tomorrow onwards. Okay, Pallavi, is Pallavi still there? I think she had some, I have 10 years of gap after my degree. What do you I'm not able to understand what you will suggest me. Okay, there's nothing. Okay, Pallavi is still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, see, you're not able to understand. Okay, the 10 years gap is a big gap, but definitely might be a little challenging, but there is nothing is hard, Pallavi. You just need to give some time with me. I know I maybe overboarded a lot of, I mean, gave a lot of things in one class. Well, we go very slow. If you just practice along with me, we will have the licenses with you. If you every day you practice 2 hours daily, I think shouldn't be a big problem. Task automation is a very easy thing. Okay, everything which I
Okay.
showed is, maybe it is like two maybe historic lesson something, but it's very easy.
Means
Okay.
like my concern is I have a zero knowledge about these things like Tosca things. So whether I
Ha ha
am
ha.
able to understand whatever you.
See, my way of teaching is I won't go with Tosca first. First, we'll understand what an application is, what a
Okay.
website is. Okay,
Okay.
what is written behind this. We'll see very small things. I mean, whenever assuming there's something called Google. Okay,
Okay.
Google has a search button, and then you have the search field and the search button, right? You will
Okay.
understand what exactly, how do we handle this search button, where does it come from. We'll not go to Tosca first. We'll understand how this web page works, and then based
Okay.
on that we'll go with Tosca. We'll go that slow. Okay,
Okay.
just don't consider, maybe you can join tomorrow and see again. We'll go very slow again. Maybe this was little overboarded. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That's
as I told you, I just want to keep lesser people, so that I'll give more time, because there might be a lot of doubts. So we'll go that way.
okay.
Isha
Okay.
Sachadeva, yeah, Isha, any questions?
Yeah. I just wanted to check with you. Like, I could understand, like, many folks are as a fresher, and there is a little gap is coming for their
Mm-hmm.
understanding. So, can
Mm-hmm.
I take up my questions at the end of the session? So, whosoever wanted to retain on this, they can continue. Like
Sure.
that will be it's easier for others as well, and I can cover up my queries as well.
Sure. That would be. Isha, just for my understanding, how much experience you have with Tosca?
It's more than 2 years.
2 years.
So I'm
Okay.
just like brushing up more on the latest features that
Features.
has been
Okay.
introduced in 2024.
Quite
And
good.
as I mentioned, I'm already going ahead with the interviews, so that's why I have few
Mm-hmm.
queries to check
Okay.
with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So it was. I assume that was your question on the self
Uh,
fielding,
yeah,
right?
both the questions were
Okay.
from my
Okay.
side.
Both the questions. Okay. Maybe you be the reason. I guess people got scared. But fine. Let's go other way
Yeah,
around.
that's
Fine.
why I thought like let's be with others and let me take my queries at the end of the session every day, so it would be easier for them to grab the things.
Sure, Isha. And I do understand. Thanks for that. And maybe after a week or 2 weeks, I'll make sure that the other guys are also in line with you. At least not they can't cover 2 years gap with 7 or 10 days of training. But
Understand.
I'll make sure that they have similar kind of understanding or how to use the properties and all those things. At least somewhat near to you, so that maybe you will also not be. You don't think that I'm wasting too much of my time of whole classes just to wait for last 10 minutes for to ask my questions or my doubts. So I'll
It's
make sure.
fine. Like
Yeah.
it's like I will get to know like if I'm missing any standard practice or anything. Like of course I learned Tosca myself throughout these
Mm-hmm.
2 years.
Okay.
uh, and this is the first time I thought of like to take proper sessions to understand from the granular things to make myself with the standard practice. And if I'm
Mm-hmm.
missing from actual practice, that person who is having great experience, so I'm just trying to capture that. And like of course with every learning you get something new, and might be some concepts are not clear from my own side, and I will get through this
Yeah.
session. But of course, whatever queries I'm having, I would like to get that resolved by end of the session. I hope that's
Sure, sure,
fair enough.
sure. Should be fair enough for the other folks. Yeah. And yes, to be frank, I also never had the experience of teaching this big circle. When it's usually I usually give onshore folks or few different folks. I mean, 3 to 4 people. That's how my teaching has been. But 10 people or 12 people, that's what I'm assuming if they join, would be enough for good enough for me as well for the other folks. I want to give better understanding at least at the end of 35th or 40th session, whatever we do we complete. And there's no restriction as bonding, as I'll take only 35 classes. If there are few topics which are left over, we'll try to cover it extending more classes. Okay, there's no fee charges or anything like that. I just want to be ending with a good term. So in that case, okay, I'll make sure all the certifications are done properly. We should have understanding of all the modules, like the execution test cases, TC, DT, ACR, everything. Okay, let's go that way. It's good, something new for me, teaching a bigger crowd. But I'll still, as I said, I just want to keep it a little lower. 10, 12 people would be enough for me, for the others as well. They will have a good learning from me. Okay, this has been a little longer class and little overboard, but we'll let's see if you guys join tomorrow. We'll go from scratch. We'll go from scan modules from scratch. Let's see how it goes. Okay, any questions before we end up? We lost half of the crowd anyways, but yeah.
Hi
Yeah,
Arjun,
Abhishek.
like how do we access the server? Like, do we get any
Yep.
paid versions?
I will basically give you, all you guys need is once you join this course, I will give you the training. You just give me your email address, just your email address registered to Tosca. I will provide you the licenses on that. Okay, it would be a free training licenses for 20 or 40 days. I think 30 days or 2 week, 2 months. I'm not sure exactly. I think 2 months. I'm not used to training license. Basically, I'm using a certified license from my organization. But I think I'll get to, but you'll get basically 30 or 60 days of licenses, or 30 60 days you can create your own workspace. You can work on it. If in case at the end, if you want more, you can give me your alternate email address or extra email address. I'll add the license to it as well.
Okay, thank
Okay, I think each email ID, I think you can have 2 months of free license.
you. Okay.
I believe it's supposed to be your organization email address. Am I right?
It used to be, but we have a That's how we train, right? We should have a turn. Then what's the difference between us and the other folks, right? So there's a workaround way where we can use the training license as well for 30-60 days. There's no need of organization. You can have your Gmail address. We can work with Gmail.
And one more thing I like to know, like apart
Mm-hmm.
from this training, like as I have few certification and I would be moving to another organization, how to
Mm-hmm.
retain those certification going forward because it
Very
happened with me
easy.
in past.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. There's one folk. There used to be one folk called Yashwant Malik from Tricentis. I'm not sure whether this guy is still there or not. But any Tricentis folk, you can always raise a request and support Tricentis. There's a chat box over there, right on the right corner. You can over there. You can ask the same question. Raise a case that you're moving to test cases. Or you something test cases with my head. You're moving to different organization. You can get this handed over to your Gmail address. Okay, the certificate would be, or if in case you go to move to new organization, just mail them with your new email address, new, assuming you're going to oracle.com, just go with ping with Oracle, ask them to move all your certifications to this or link to this, so all your certificates from the existing one would be linked to this. That's how I've been doing. I have 17 plus certificates. I've been moving each one of them from different organizations.
Yeah, I lose the previous organization credentials, so
Huh,
after
yeah,
that,
yeah, 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 yeah.
stop.
It would still
Yeah.
be with them. I mean the certificate, but later point when you join the innovation, you can ask when you just log in with the business email ID of the current organization, the new organization, and ping them and ask them to move all the certificates from the older one to new one.
Okay.
Okay, you don't need to log in back. They will link it to your new account.
Okay. Thanks for the info.
No problem. Hi Pallavi, I'm not sure on this answer. Maybe someone from training team would be able to answer that.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay, taking silence as no. Fine. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for staying back till 11, folks. My 11 cricket team plays. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'll try to make sure I'll give my best. Maybe this wasn't the fruitful or good enough for you guys, but let's see. Tomorrow, I try to. I hope to see you guys get the good knowledge tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Sure.
day.
Thank you. You too have
Yeah.
a good time.
Bye bye.